So this video was meant to showcase how we pulled off the biggest online event in South Africa. And honestly, it was that for a while. You know, as we launched, the numbers were crazy. The first event we ever did, we had 20 people. On this event, there was 1,000 people watching live. Everything that we worked on for the past couple of months actually worked. It didn't just work, it completely exceeded all our expectations. It was a complete success. And then out of nowhere, in literally seconds, YouTube pulled our event with no reason or no heads up whatsoever. And just like that, all our work, all our effort, and all the money gone. And so in this video, I want to showcase you guys the week after the event, everything that we did and what we are still doing, trying to figure out what went wrong, how can we get this event back up and running, and our game plan moving forward. We tried to host South Africa's biggest live event, and here's what we learned. The desire for greatness is a tale as old as time. As children, we look up to heroes who bear tremendous suffering for the sake of others, right? Those who take the weight of the world upon their shoulders. In a sense, purposeful suffering. The more suffering they can endure, the more honorable they become. And by extension, the more we look up to them. We can look at figures like Batman, Superman, Thor, Spider-Man, and Iron Man, right? That's what these heroes represent to us when we are children. And this is also what, Jesus represents to us as Christians, right? Suffering is inevitable if greatness is the goal. And this week I meditated on this idea, and through this essay I want to propose a different way to look at suffering. I believe it's a paradigm necessary to achieve anything great in this world. And so this is a blueprint to find purpose in suffering. All right, so Andrew and I are busy cooking up the new sales funnel. We are going to be, and that's what next week's video is going to be all about. It's our new ads funnel, right? I think it's going to be absolutely exceptional. And obviously in the midst of, the events, a bit of a failure, it has really motivated us to really get this thing going. And I'm very, very excited. It's really going to change the entire trajectory of the business. But yeah, here's Andrew. I want him to sort of convey to you guys essentially what we've learned over the past couple of days of the event sort of failing a bit. What do you think? How was your experience with that?
I mean, we haven't really learned much.
Yeah.
YouTube has just decided to take down our video for absolutely no reason. We even sent YouTube an email, but as you know, the support is pretty terrible. So we're just waiting. Maybe they push it out again. Who knows? But now we're going even harder on the ads and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Why do you think they took the video down?
I think they're headhunting. We are on a list, I'm telling you. Because they even took down my Instagram ad as well. So I think we're on a list. We're under attack.
You're under attack. The Matrix is attacking. It's terrible, man. You work so hard on this one thing and just sort of... And the thing is, we were like projected to, hit all of our goals.
500 to a million.
Yeah, 500 to a million, like easy. I mean, our numbers all, we wanted to get 1,000 people in total through the thing. We got that in an hour. Like, it's ridiculous.
50 to 100,000 views.
Yeah, 50 to 100,000 views. Like, it's ridiculous. So, and our conversion rate of that would have probably been between like 1%, 1 to 1.5%. So
let's take it at 1.5%. Let's say 50,000 views times 1.5% is 750 people. And like 50,000 is on a lower end. Remember, I said 50 to 100,000 views. And let's even say 1% to make it even less. So 1%. That's 500 people. And our ticket price was $997. So that's $500,000. So I'm not sure if it would have been that much. But
even if you're half that.
Yeah, 500. Even $250,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a bit of a letdown, right? You see all the numbers, you put all the work in, and all of that makes sense, and then just gets robbed from you for absolutely no reason, no description, no explanation, and we haven't learned anything yet. So I'm Andrew and I, we used to failure is a prerequisite to success, right? It's going to happen. You need to be able to come to terms with the fact that you're going to fail, right? It's a price of the dream you prayed for, right? It is what it is. But you need to be able to learn from that. And it's frustrating if you don't know what you need to learn yet because you haven't been said why it got removed, right? Or why you failed. So yeah, that's what we're sort of dealing with right now. But today was really good. It's Sunday right now. Everybody has a desire to be successful and to do the thing, right? But are you working on a Sunday, right? That's the question. So yeah, and we're heading off to Cape Town now to the Red Bull event. Every challenge in life is a form of feedback from God. A lesson repeated until you grow. The same setbacks will revisit you again and again, not as punishment, but as opportunity to evolve into something greater. Life will not let you advance until you become the person capable of carrying the weight of your calling. What calling, you might ask? As cliche as this might seem, I believe our calling is our dream. I believe a dream is born twice. First in the mind, breathed into you by the Lord, and then again in reality through your hands, your effort, your sacrifice, and essentially, your work. And something that I have come to reflect on is that our dream was never ours alone, right? It was assigned to us. To bring your dream into the world is not, ambition. I think it's a moral obligation, a sacred duty to honor the gift entrusted to you. How do you know if the dream is godly? Impact is the evidence of alignment. Your true power lies in service. What you build should lift others, heal others, inspire others, right? This seems very cliche, but I find this to be true as I reflect upon my own journey. When impact is the center of your business, essentially your why, things just tend to shift in a way that's a lot more purposeful. You tend to suffer, purposeful suffering, right? You tend to willingly suffer because that's what business is, right? Or achieving something great is essentially purposeful suffering. And in essence, you tend to suffer a lot more willingly if you know that suffering is helping other people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 2 days post-event. It is Wednesday, and the problem is with the event, right? The video got taken down. We have no idea why it got taken down in the first place, right? So it's one thing to run into like a roadblock and then essentially learn from that and then make sure you never make that mistake again. The problem is we don't know what went wrong because YouTube's feedback is very vague. And, we even spoke with Iman's internal team because Andrew is being mentored by his team. And even, I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but, even he said he has no idea why the event got taken down. And he basically organizes and runs all the events for Iman. So we have no idea what's happening. We are seeing this as a matrix attack, right? They just hate seeing us win. But it's just a weird situation where you essentially run into a roadblock and to a logical failure, right? Which is part of the game, right? It's a precursor to success. I understand that it's a prerequisite to success. You need to fail, and life will challenge you via feedback setbacks, challenges, failure. Why? Because I believe life hates a hypocrite. It's easy to desire greatness, but it's another thing to actually strive and achieve it, right? The desire is what not separates us from those who die with their dreams. It's action. And I think, life hates a hypocrite. And so life will be like, you say you want greatness, bet, right? Let's see if you're about that life. I'm going to give you challenges to pursue through, failure and doubt and fear and all these things to challenge you to see how bad do you really want it, right? And I think that is what separates people, is the person that's able to pursue through that friction. But nonetheless, so we're in a situation right now where we're not sure, we couldn't really learn from what we did wrong, right? Because we don't know what we did wrong. So it's a weird situation, but nonetheless, what I did was I took the transcribe of the entire event and I took the terms and conditions or whatever of YouTube, and I essentially told ChatGPT, based on the terms and conditions of YouTube, let me know what parts of the event I should edit out and where I should add any disclaimers. And so that's essentially what I did, and we uploaded the video yesterday. The problem is, right, the event actually was a great success. Our first ever event, we got 23 views or so on the event. This one we had around 500, right? So now the event that we uploaded yesterday, we had around 50 live. So it's unfortunate, right? We had a really great launch, and it just is what it is, right? It's part of the game. And so now, moving forward, we took it on the chin, and we are seeing how can we amend this and make it good again, right? There's a lot of people who are still very interested to see, where's the event, why did it got taken down and all this stuff.
So as of right now, the event is live. The views aren't looking that great just yet. It's around just under 1,000, under 24 hours. We had 1,000 views in the first hour. So yeah, it's difficult because the comparison or the contrast is so high from you know, the launch. So that's all that we're experiencing right now. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really feeling anything else. You know, it's just now we put a lot of emphasis on this event to book a lot of meetings, right, for this week. And so we didn't really put a lot of emphasis in direct add to bookings. So it looks like this week's bookings are fairly lower than usual. But yeah, that's to be expected, right? Because to a large degree, the event failed a bit on the launch. So yeah, but nonetheless, part of the game. And yeah, trying to figure out what we can actually learn from all of this. Because yeah, you better believe I am not gonna fail and not learn something. I am taking something out of this, okay? I'm 100% making sure that this experience will teach me something that I can carry over into my next event, that this will never happen again. Because we actually killed the launch. We did everything we wanted to. We got more people than we expected. Fuck. It was so good. Everything that we thought would like worked. And the problem is that all the people that we mimicked, all of them do exactly what we did on the event. So no one, like, yeah, it's so frustrating, right? We actually killed it. But nonetheless, I will learn something from this. And it will teach me something, and I will improve my service and my business, and it will make me more successful despite failing, right? Despite the setback.
Your true power lies in service. When your creation improves lives, it confirms you are building what God intended. And in that alignment, something beautiful happens. What once felt like work begins to feel like purpose. You become devoted to the craft, obsessed, because witnessing its impact becomes infectious. This is something that I have seen repeated in all the greats' journeys and biographies, right? Is they were all obsessed with their craft. And one needs to ask yourself, how do you become obsessed with something? And I think a very beautiful source to operate out of is a source of impact and in service of others. And by seeing the impact that your product has on other people's lives, obsession is a byproduct. You know, you will become obsessed with that feeling of being in service of others. And so you will do the necessary and go above and beyond what is needed to make this dream become a reality.
When you pick your niche, right, we'll mostly focus on, let's say, Europe, and we'll focus on North America, right? How do I source kind of like the leads for the niche? I guess I want to understand, like, where do I go search for these leads, right?
So, like, I mean, the main thing is, right? So, I mean, irrelevant to what niche it is, right? Every single one will be a bit different. Probably going to be, you go to Airbnb and you get there, or you go to websites, or you pull their information. Like, it's tough, right? That's why the first thing you do is you source that out. So we got someone that manually scrapes their emails. I think I'm going to implement a new system, and there's always new systems, right? So updating that and, you know, researching your specific niche, because it's different per niche, but you want to just go the closest to the source and then grab that, and then essentially utilize that to then reach out to them. So for what we do is manually on YouTube, you go in and you type in, you know, let's say Chris Williams, Williamson, if we want to do his content, we'll literally go and pull his email off of YouTube. So the more friction there is between you and scraping leads, the better, because that means there's less competition scraping them. So it's a lot less a specific tool that's going to do this. It's probably going to be the exact method that you think. It's just, it is that, and it's tough.
The harder it is for you to get the lead, you know, the harder it is for other people to get it as well. So, for example, there might be like, let's say talk the real estate agents, for example. There might be like a lead list on real estate agents, like online, you know, and then anyone can download it, which means those real estate agents on that list is being reached out to constantly. You might think, oh, like, you know, I want the easy way, but the harder it is for you, the harder it is for someone else as well. So you're going to get better results. That's essentially how I got pretty good results when I started my agency. I sourced every single email manually.
If you just utilize ChatGPT, I just typed in here very briefly, how do I generate leads for Airbnb specifically?
And already, because like the main thing is each month there's new tools coming out, right? So that's the main thing of this game is to keep on studying, to always be on top of the tool. So that's why it's so important to have a market and a niche and be like a niche expert, right? If that's why people jumping niches the whole time, they never see success, because you want to get to a point where it's almost a plug and play for each client. So we got someone in the exclusive community, Yanda and James, well, more just Yanda specifically, that's doing Airbnbs in Cape Town, and they're doing extremely, extremely well. Yeah.
So we just finished up the 3 days with clients who did the lead experience, essentially the VIP tickets that we sold for the event, even though the event wasn't really a success, right? We still made a great success with what we did here. And every single one of these people, all of these people are essentially messaging how amazing it was. I can actually show it like this. $60, really well spent. Thank you guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for 3 days, really enjoyed it. Got me thinking of solutions a lot, definitely worth every penny. Everybody just extremely happy with what we did here. Thank Quinton and Andrew for 3 amazing days and a lot of great knowledge. This is why we do this, right? And so now, essentially failing in something, how does one stop doing this? This is in service of other people. This is not about me anymore. It would be selfish of me to quit because I came across a challenge or a roadblock. Seeing the value that this gives to other people, this is my moral obligation to be successful. What an amazing 3 days. And we are now choosing the winners that I will introduce you guys to tomorrow, to the community that won the 2 free memberships to our exclusive community, as well as a VIP dinner as well. So I'm excited to announce that now. As cliche as this might seem or sound, your business becomes a ministry through which others are blessed. The moment you realize your dream is not yours alone, that it was assigned to you for the service of others, success becomes inevitable, because to abandon it would be to betray the very breath that gave you life. Something that I've learned in this journey of mine thus far, in trying to achieve greatness and building something that will impact all South Africans, is that failure is a prerequisite to success. You will go through tremendous failure and suffering in order to manifest your goal. And I believe that when the root of your suffering is in service of others, you will be able to justify that suffering a lot more. And so even if this is a cope, right, to become great, I'm willing to cope with this mindset, because this is the only reason why I'm able to suffer through failure, through this event that has failed, right, or through any other tribulations and trials that might come, in the pursuit of this. Everything happens twice. When you have this idea or dream, you create it out of nothing, right, in your mind. It just appears to you and it just manifests itself, right? It just comes to you. And that is what I believe is sent by the Lord, right? And then if you decide to courageously take action, you manifest it into reality through action, right? And I believe anything great, that needs to be manifested needs to be difficult. Why not? Right? If I take, for example, this event, right? The video got taken down once again for the second time. That sucks. There's no other way about it. It's terrible. It's not really demotivating me or increasing my doubt, which is funny. I would have thought it would have, right? I'm definitely, sad about it, right? I would rather wanted it to be good. But for some other reason, it got taken down again. And the biggest thing for me now is, for me and Andrew, is we don't really know why it got taken down. So we don't even have a lesson yet. Believe me, even if I have to call YouTube somehow, I'm going to make sure that I know why this has happened so that it will never happen again. So we at least have a lesson from this, right? But what I'm trying to convey is that I believe the world will test our desire to be great by giving us friction, challenges, failures to pursue through, right? And I think that's why it's so important to have a deep sense of meaning and purpose behind what you do, and to be extremely curious about it. And why I think it's important to have the root of your core business to be, how does this business impact others? Let it be the root of your business, is to solve problems for other people, to not inspire necessarily, but to improve your clients and your customers' lives. Because, for example, the 10 people that did join, right, so far, which is actually fairly, a great success already, we had calls with them, right, and every single one of them, it changed their lives. They are so happy to be a part of what we've built, and to see the impact that our product has made in their lives. It's a moral obligation for me to continuously strive to build something great, because I know how it impacts other people's lives. And that, like the one woman almost cried, just how amazing it is. It's exceptional. It almost brought me to tears, right? It's amazing. So, yeah.
In the midst of tremendous failure, the amount of purpose that I feel still in this very moment outweighs anything that I have ever experienced previously. And so, as an extension of last week's essay, your dream is worth suffering for. And as always, this is a note to myself.